and I think we're probably something more. Anyway, it's still 9 o'clock, a lot of people will be coming, so whatever. We will have a short intro before our talks, so I guess it's nice if we start just saying a couple of things, especially because we have great news tonight, but we keep it for later. Okay, welcome to Speck&Tech number 14.
Yes! Now, just a couple of things. First, thank you everyone being here. You're like heroes of July because no one is like working in a week. I'm talking from a working background. So yeah, super thank you to be here. We are a lot of people, more like at least 3 times more than. How much is you divided by me and France? That's the number. So if you want to come here, we have a couple of rows here in front of no one. Okay. Yes, thank you. You're still awesome. Okay. So first thing first, sponsors. As always, who's the first time? Yes, we can jump fast. So Impact Hub is the place where we are. It's a co-working space. If you need a co-working space, this is the place. You probably already know that. Then Becca and EAT Digital. Becca is my company. We are spending some money to make this happen, and EAT Digital is the company Francesco is working on, and they are spending some money on doing this as well. Becca is doing software. EAT Digital is doing like helping companies doing better, I guess, but a lot of things among like masters and whatever, but like super mega corp from the European Union, but they are good, not in an evil sense. And then we have Segata, woo! They give us a giant, enormous piece of spec, which is in the Telegram channel if you want to look more. And then Diginate, which is the guys who printed the stickers that you already have. If you gave us a donation, if you didn't, please give a donation. Speck&Tech is very poor, even if Backend Digital is helping. So it's an association, we need to pay stuff like taxes and whatever, so thank you. Yeah, these are the stickers I was talking about.
Cool. Taking it further, yes, tonight we're having another thing. Every event that we run, we have 3 licenses that we give out to people that donate. So if you donate during the night, at the end of the talks, we will select 3 people randomly that gave a donation to Speck&Tech, and then we'll extract a license for JetBrains for all the suite. So if you go there, there's the table, you go to our good friends, Luca and Michele, you drop a coin, €1, €5, 10, 15 euros, 10 cents, and then we will use them for making our events better, and especially to pay back the beers, because that's the main trouble. And we know it's forced, it's not the best beers, but that's what we could do to keep them very fresh. So it's a trade-off, unfortunately, in July. Okay, as always, we have our website with all the issues. If you go on Speck&Tech, you can find everything, and especially the previous issues. You can go there, check the slides, see the speakers, find them on LinkedIn, stalk them, and a number of interesting things. And you can also review us on Facebook, leave us saying that you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're the best community in Trento, or especially we want to hear your feedback. So if you know a cool guy doing cool things in Trento or in the surroundings, if you know a company or a startup, someone that is doing a great job or an interesting research, please come and talk to us, because we are struggling to find all the beauties and the people that we invite to our events. So just tell us. We also have a Telegram channel, we have a Slack team. Just find us everywhere on our website. Finally, unfortunately the emoji is not displayed, but anyway, as I said before, there are the donation over there at the end of the room. You don't have to donate, but you're warmly welcome. And when you can do it anytime, till the end of the night. Also on the website, we also have an IBAN. We are a fiscal code, a tax code, so you can also send us a donation over the web. But especially tonight we have a surprise, which is this one.
It's a new logo. It's flying.
Raise your hand, somebody that says what's this thing here. Nobody. Yeah, good point. Yeah. No. T-shirts. We will have also awesome T-shirts starting from September. So what we can do tonight is that you can secure your t-shirt and pre-order it for just 15 euros at the desk over there. Because when we will order them, I mean, we need to know the exact order, more or less how many we need, 20, 50, 100, or whatever. So if you pre-order them right now at the moment, you pay 15 euros, otherwise it will be 20, or 18 or whatever, anyway, more than what you will pay tonight, starting from September on. So they're awesome, they are printed from our friends at in Rovereto, Sirius Grafia. They're really cool, they do awesome t-shirts. I do have them, Giulio and this company has them, so we really believe in them, and they made this awesome design. It's not gonna be exactly like this, even more beautiful. So at the end of the event or during the talks, you can just go there and say, I want that t-shirt, come in.
Yeah, so if it's not clear, for this very night, you can have it and order it for just 15 euros and a set of Pintola. But if you wait until tomorrow, we will have a website which will be hosted on Big Cartel, which is kind of like an e-commerce as a service or whatever, which is expensive because we need to process your credit card, and it will be 16 euros because we have a lot of expenses. But if you're still not very convinced about it, it will be 20, but you will see the t-shirt and you can touch it, and that's the price you will pay more, just to be clear. And this is not the final drawing, this is just like
An idea.
No, it's not an idea, because we have like an even better version of that, but it happened that they stole it because it was too awesome. So please order it right now, because otherwise you will be missed like probably best t-shirt in the history of t-shirts. Yeah.
Thank you, Giulio. Removing. Cool. Tonight, Speck&Tech number 14, mobile development. We have our first speaker here, ERINDA, talking about the cool late technology Kotlin.
Yeah, which I want to say.
The second speaker, so sorry, ERINDA. Just patiently. No. She's speaking about Kotlin, which is the hard stuff tonight. Sorry, Matteo. And so yes, please. So until now, you can just whistle like pop.
Or you can pre-order the t-shirts.
Yes.
Okay.
Puoi vedere cosa scrivi, giusto? Quindi ti mettiamo di qua. Così meglio? Penso sia meglio così.
Ma in realtà
Okay, big applause to ERINDA. Actually, she arrived 5 minutes ago and she was still struggling getting some fresh air. But we decided to let her go first anyway. I would just like to say that last time we turned on the lights, it was a very special night. I don't know if somebody remembers. Tutto? No, vice versa. Yeah, this is what you will get tonight with a donation to Speck&Tech. Huh?
This week.
Okay, last time we just had a very, very quick introduction in 7 minutes about Kotlin, but everyone was so excited and said it was so cool and whatever, so they wanted to know more. And this time we will have a full presentation about that. ERINDA, your time.
Okay. Hi everyone, I am ERINDA, and today we are going to talk about Kotlin. So, few words about it. Well, first of all, it's a programming language and it targets JVM, Android and JavaScript. It was developed by JetBrains and it's fully interoperable with Java. It's really difficult, this word to say. And I will explain what does that mean. So, first of all, why do we need Kotlin? Mostly you will see like, okay, probably Android because it's stuck on Java 6 and it doesn't have too many things that maybe Java 8 has, probably. Like no strings, no lambda, no try with resources. But actually this is not the main reason because there are external libraries you can use like Java or Retro Lambda. And the main reason actually is the Java language restrictions like nullability problems, mutability problems, no way to add custom functions to classes that you actually don't have access to modify. And there is too much verbosity. So first of all, I will start with some like, let's say, what Kotlin offers you, and then I will show you about Android. So first of all, it avoids a lot of boilerplate. So imagine you want to create a pojo, and in this case, you just do data class, name of the class, and then the variables you want to add with what to call a constructor, and it will automatically generate getter setters. Getter setters equals hash code to string and copy. So what is the difference between with Java? In Java, if you want to do equals function, you have actually to override equals, and then you have to go and implement how two persons might be the same thing. So I can show a quick note here. For example, if if I say that I want to create a data class person, and let's get it to here, then we will use again the same code to see another example. And in this case, I can create a person, P1, equal to person, A. And then I can say, okay, name, surname, and, well, no age. And let's say that I will do the same another person, P2, and we are the same. So what I will expect is that if I do a print, then I will see that this P1 should be equal to P2. Oh. Okay, so okay, so it's true. Actually, I didn't have to write anything to tell him how to do it. So for some reason, if I do in here some changes, like this, and I do again run, it will say me false. Okay, mutability. This is something that I will show an example interesting in this, but for the main purpose now we have a simple string, a val name. Val means this variable cannot be changed. Instead, var means it can be changed. So if we write this val name and then we try to and then I try to modify it, like val name equals ERINDA, and then I say, okay, name now equals blah. I will have let's go here. It's a compile time error. Yeah, sorry. Okay, here. Telling me that I have to make this variable mutable. Here. Okay. Another thing that comes really comfortable with Kotlin is that it actually has a really easy way to access to collections. So you can do mutable lists and immutable lists. And again, the same reasoning is even here. If you try to modify a read-only list, it will give you compile time error, so you don't have to wait for the runtime. Nullability. So in nullability, we have to, in Java, there is an optional library that you can use to check for null variables. But in here, it's with this question mark, where you say, okay, if the variable is null, then it doesn't go and access to the next variable. So if I add in here, this is quite stupid, okay, but it's just for the purpose of an example. Like, if I add in here like that, this person can have a sibling, that's another person, and sorry, it's really, sibling. Okay, in here you can say that it could be, no, sorry, I put a question mark here. So you are saying that it could be null. Now, if I try to go here and say, okay, now I want to access to my p1.sibling.name, it will ask you to put here a question mark, so that if this is null, it won't go and evaluate name. So you don't have to check and go with an if. Okay, about these extension functions, you can add other functions to classes that you actually don't have the access. So or you don't have the ownership. In this case, we are modifying the integer. We are saying, okay, an integer can have a function is even, and it can return a boolean. This in here is just a way of writing in Kotlin. It's just an like imagine it like a lambda function. And what does this extension function actually do? They do not modify the original class. They act like the static methods in Java. So what you are actually doing, you are just adding the static method and you are using it. It can be declared anywhere you want, everywhere you are, but the common practice is to create a unique file where you put related extension functions to the same object. Okay, interoperable. You do not have to convert everything at once, so you can maintain the code, your code as it is, and you can add little portions of Kotlin or new functionalities written in Kotlin, and you can convert what you have by little portions. I have a simple example in here. I created a Java class, bicycle class. It's really something easy. You just, I will show just like the speed, it's 0, and then we do a speed up function and we'll see that the speed is incremented. So if I go again in my Kotlin and I do like bicycle equal bicycle, and then I do like, okay, now my bicycle dot speed up, I think. Okay, let's say 30, and we print in both of them like bicycle dot speed, and then after the change is done, we print again bicycle dot speed. And let me comment all the others. So you are seeing now that I am using Java from Kotlin. So okay, it's now this is 0 and this is 30, the next one. Okay, so now we'll see some of the Android, let's say, cool features that Kotlin adds. One of them is the Kotlin Android extension plugin. So it's not an external library, it's just a plugin. And actually what it does is allows you to access to every ID in your XML file by just writing the name of the ID. So you don't have to find the text view, find view by ID, and then cast it and then use it. Okay, let me show in, okay, now I have to use just this. Like I have in mine activity main XML. So I have a recycle view, and this is the ID of my recycle view. And in my app, I added the Kotlin extension plugin. And then in my main activity, what I'm doing, I'm just calling my ID forecast list, and then I am setting a layout manager. And Anko is another really powerful library that's done from JetBrains. Its main purpose is to generate UI layouts by writing code and not using XML. And apart this, it avoids you a lot of boilerplates, like navigation between activities, creation of fragments, database accesses, alias creation. all the magic behind the ANCO feature are extension functions. So I think in here I have, like for example, the toast. You just this comes from ANCO. You just write toast instead of doing toast, make toast, and then show. And this is how it looks, the dynamic layout. I'm generally used to with XML, so I don't actually use it, but if you have to do like a really quick demo, it's really handy. So you are just writing you are here saying, okay, I have a scroll view, then a linear layout, label button, and edit text. You can add styles, you can add a click, so you can actually do more than just what we can do with the XML. You can actually write code inside. Okay, request out of the main thread. This is really cool because when you do an HTTP request, in here there is ANCO that actually provides us with this function that is do async. What this does is it just says, okay, everything that's inside, call it into another thread, and it starts executing. And okay, later I will show you what this one does. It's just an HTTP request. And then it says, after it's finished, it says, okay, turn back into the UI thread and then do something. In this case, it's just doing a long toast. So, for a request URL, it's actually interesting because if you remember in Java, to do an HTTP request, to do it by hand, you have to do to open a connection, then you have to read the buffer and to convert everything into a string. Instead in here, Kotlin, it gives you just this URL, and you just do read text. It's not recommended for use responses though, so use it wisely. And well, apart object-oriented, it's even functional, so you can have lambda, you can create lambda functions and everywhere. It's cool. And you can, like for example, in set on click listener, if in Android you have to create an on-click listener and then you have to override the on-click. In here you are just passing it as a lambda function. And then I have then I have an example that it's let's say it shows you what Kotlin does under the hood. So apply is a function that does the same thing as a builder does in Java. So when we have to modify an object that has to be modified itself and not create a new instance, we create a builder and the builder knows how to do it and then it returns the same object back. In their reasoning was that, why do we need a builder? Why doesn't the object knows itself how to be modified? So the apply function actually just gets the objects, modifies the attributes, and then it returns you back the same object. This is a quick example of like setting an orientation in a layout style. This is in Kotlin. We have just an enum class, the same in Java, and then we have a class layout style. In here we have get orientation and set orientation functions, and then the main that calls the layout style and then sets the orientation. And this is the bytecode that they both generate. You will see that first they just add the layout style, and then they invoke the constructor empty, and then in Kotlin there are some store and loads, and then what it does, it pushes onto a stack the orientation vertical, and then it calls set orientation, popping onto from the stack again orientation vertical. So the extra store is it's the same as Java, just that there are these extra store and loads that actually are useful for the debugger to treat lambdas as stack frames, so that we can actually go onto them and see the local variables, who is the one that is calling, and what are they calling. So they are just for the debugger, actually. Now, I wanted to show you another thing from this code. You can create here. Okay. So I have this forecast list that actually is just a data class, and it has the name of a city, a name of a country, and a list of daily forecast. You can add other attributes inside, like properties, and you say, okay, I want the size, and when I call a forecast object dot size, it will actually call get. So when we do everything, like when we have a class and we say dot this property, like or dot set property in Java, when we can say in Kotlin just dot text equal something, it actually what does behind the scenes is just called set text. And in this case, when we do forecast list dot size, it will call the get function. And what it does, it returns the daily forecast dot size. So we are not exposing daily forecast, let's say. Another fun thing is the operator. We can override any operator that's are there. We can, with this one, like operator fun get position, what we can do is we can create a forecast list. And then we can say, okay, give me between two square brackets the position, what's in the position 0. So we are calling like forecast list as it actually would have been a list, and we are returning actually the daily forecast in that position. Okay, so actually this is what I said just before by talking, and I put some links in here. This is a book from where the exercise that you saw here, it's taken from that book, and it's just $25. And actually it's really written well. It has even the database part that I haven't covered yet. So, and then there are some links, and if you are curious about, I have a podcast to add, and even a link that actually talks more deeper about the bytecode generation. So, thank you. If you have questions.
Let's also remember that ERINDA is one of the founders of Girls Code It. So if you're a girl, or if you know about women interested in coding here in this room, they take like weekly classes.
Weekly, we'll start again from September.
Okay, they will start again from September. They're on a break as well at the moment. So it's very cool. They teach how to program and how to code in different languages and constraints and stuff.
If someone wants to do the tutor, if someone wants to do the tutor, you are welcome, even if you are a guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, questions? It's nice.
Tiago, alza la voce, non siamo
Esatto.
tanti stasera.
Urla.
Alzati tu.
So you showed how Kotlin interrupts with Java when calling a Java class. Can you show how it works the other way around? Java can, it's possible to call Kotlin?
Now no, but I can send you an example if you want.
Okay. But it's possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let's say it's easily possible, because I know that you can do the same with Scala, but it's not so easy to do it. Maybe someone can, at least, that's what I read, so.
What's the feature that you found most useful in your workflow?
Well, okay, I have to say that till now I have done just personal projects, okay? So I haven't done it in, let's say, a company type of size. But I like the fact that I don't have to write lots of code, okay? And I even liked a lot to the fact that I have to, for Android, like I can access to my XML just using the ID. So it has actually tons of, like the same code that I wrote here could have been lots of lines written in Java. That's mostly.
Sorry, have you noticed any disadvantages of Kotlin?
Let's say that for the kind of projects that I have used, I can say no. And not because probably it has. Probably there is something that doesn't. But probably I will see it if I work on a bigger project. But with the simple little projects that you do, it actually is really everything really easy. But maybe if you go and read on on web, probably there are not probably I have seen a lot that are complaining for different things. But I don't know if maybe they have been solved because. Kotlin is actually open source. You can go and see what are the things that actually do what to go, but you cannot modify on it, so you cannot contribute. You can just see how the code is and what are the next modifications.
Any more questions? Oh. Shout.
Can you explain a little bit how memory management works in Kotlin? Does it use the garbage collector as in Java? Or
I don't know that. I can check it for you. Yeah, I
Final question. Final one. People coming right now, just come and sit in the front. There are a lot of seats. Thank you. No one? Then let's call it a break. Another big applause for our ERINDA. 5 minutes break for the people arriving late. We remember that you can go and pre-order your T-shirt of Speck&Tech because I know you were really interested at our desk there.
Yeah, and last thing, second big applause for ERINDA, which is the only guest that I've talked twice at Speck&Tech. So if you don't already have prepared a talk, feel guilty. Thank you very much, ERINDA, for the second time. You'll be awesome. And so right now we are a little bit close. Stop. Hey. We are now starting the second session of Speck&Tech. Please take your seat. For the last people that just arrived in the room, we have several rows on the front. Please take your seat. Mind the gap between the train and the classroom. We will now arrive at Covent Garden. Alright. So, second talk is Matteo for friends MATTEO, because he's very passionate about Mac products, and this is a pool that goes from how many years?
Apple products.
About how many years is MATTEO?
I don't know, the nickname at least 10, but probably more. And I'll tell you more when I start with the slides.
And it's still funny, yeah. Okay, enough with the joking, which wasn't even funny, sorry. And yeah, so big applause for Matteo, and let's see talk about the other side of the floors, iOS, and Apple or whatever.
Let me start the timer. Good night, everybody. I'm, as Giulio said, Matteo. I'm going to talk about WWDC, the Worldwide Developer Conference, and it's also known as WWDC, if you are more confident with Apple conferences, and is hosted yearly by Apple in California in early June, usually. It's a long-lasting event. But why me? Actually, I've been there at WWDC 5 times since 2012, and I'm just 35 days older than the original Macintosh. So this is the first one I use is Macintosh Plus. And this is me using a Mac at 6, not really, but it could have been. So let's get started. I started developing application for the original iPhone back in 2007. There wasn't an official SDK, but thanks to some talented guys and girls, they put together an unofficial toolchain, so we were able to write Objective-C code and create the first apps without the blessing by Apple. Then we were able to compile them for the ARM processor, and we also did manual memory management. So you were supposed to increase and decrease the retain count for each object, so it won't disappear when you were still using it. It was rough, but there weren't many developers, iOS developers around, especially in Italy, so I had the opportunity to develop some really interesting application. For example, a series of comics with Astorina, starring Diabolic. And if your eyes are good enough, there is a great application here. It's called Push My Fart, and that didn't get the attention it deserved. But thanks to for the time, great new technology called push notifications, you were able, using that application, to trigger a fart right in the pocket of your friends. So it was amazing, but it wasn't a success, unfortunately, but it was really great to think and develop such great ideas. Awesome. More recently, we developed the iPad guide for the Muse, and now I work for Dimension. I probably write less code of higher quality, hopefully. And we also do the in-bank application, mobile application for iOS and Android. So that's why I'm here. But let's talk about WWDC. 5,300 developers, 1,000 Apple engineers, and many queues. This year it has been held in San Jose, California. for the first time after 14 straight years in San Francisco. It wasn't the first time in San Jose because the last one was in 2002 when Steve Jobs actually celebrated the funeral of macOS 9 with a real coffin on the stage. What about the schedule? There are 3 types of events: special events, sessions, and labs. I'm going to talk about the special events. The first one, you probably have heard of it, is the keynote on Monday morning. It kicks off the theme of the week, and but there are also many commercial announcements, and I'm not going to talk about it. Keep in mind, however, that as a developer with a ticket, you have the opportunity to queue outside and grab a better seat. This time I managed to be in 5th row, so it was a pleasure, with just four hours of queue. On Tuesday, we had the pleasure to listen to Michelle Obama talking with the Apple Vice President of Environment, Policy and Social Initiative, Lisa Jackson. And these and other motivational talks usually are taking place during the lunch break, but are not recorded. So you're not going to listen or see them if you're not there. Another special event that unfortunately this year didn't happen publicly, it happened privately, is the Apple Design Awards, honoring outstanding design and innovation. 2 out of 12 of these awards went to Italian developers, indie developers, so we should be really proud of them. The first one is Bear. I don't know if you know it, but it's an amazing note-taking application for iOS and macOS. And the second one is AirMail, the best available mail client for iOS and macOS too. These are the guys. The 3 on the left are the Bear one, and 2 on the right are the guys developing AirMail. The first one are from Parma, and the other guys are from Pisa. I've spent many hours with them and other fellow developers, and it's amazing. It's one of the key features to be in such a conference, such an international place. You meet really great people like you and make new connections. Another special event is the Beer Bash, a rock concert on Thursday night with plenty of food, beer, not Speck, unfortunately, but other kind of really good food. And okay, it's a concert, it should have been started earlier. What you can do, again, network. You can meet like-minded guys, make new connection, and meet even old friends, because people keep going and you can continue meet people that you already met. This is the worst part of WWDC, is the executive lunch box. It's what you get for lunch. It's a pile of shit, and one of these, just one of these, is estimated to cost more than $50 each day for each of the 5,300 people around. What a mess. This year there have been 138 sessions. Each one is available in streaming right now on the website, on the official WWDC application for iOS, or the unofficial one on macOS. And labs. There are 1,000 Apple engineers rotating during the 4 days and are available to answer your questions, solve your problems, code with you. Everyone is special and welcoming. So it's the greatest opportunity offered by WWDC. You won't find those people around during the year. They are just there for you, so it's a topic, an opportunity that needs to be taken. If you are a member of a STEM institution, so a college in engineering, for example, you can apply, and this year you have to submit a Swift Playground project, an original one, and you can have the ticket for free. So it's the ticket for the WWDC conference is 1,500 euros. So it's a great opportunity if you are interested to go in 2018. Start planning now your great Swift playground project. But let's talk about what has been announced during WWDC. I'm not going to talk about what has been presented during the keynote, but concentrate on iOS development as required by the theme of this night. If you are looking, however, for a curated list of what have been announced, this is a handy topic list of everything. Obviously, there are all the sessions that you can see and experience, but if you don't have time and want a Bignami, that's there. I'm also not going to talk about new feature or visual changes that are on the operating system itself, like the lock screen or cover sheet or whatever. There is the public beta of iOS 11, so if you are courageous enough, and a developer, you can install it, or maybe you already have it installed on your devices, but you can also go to beta.apple.com and request an invite for the public beta. This could happen. So this is my iPad that for a moment started going nuts, but it happened. It's better software. The platform State of the Union is the most important session with an overview of the topics that will be touched during the following session, the upcoming week. Usually is on Monday afternoon, and if you want to know a little bit more, because they asked me to condense a week of sessions in 30 minutes, so I'll be a little bit short of content. But if you want to know more, go and look at the platform State of the Union. Xcode 9 is the official IDE for developing iOS, macOS, tvOS, watchOS application, and you can even develop something else. It's not the only tool that you can use, but it's the official and blessed by Apple One. It has new features like a new source code editor taken directly from an iOS application released 2 years ago. That's Swift Playground, and is written in Swift. Swift is, if you don't know, the other cool language. Kotlin is for Android and JVM. Swift is for iOS, macOS, and even other kind. Server-side Swift is really hot, but it's a programming language. You can mix and match. I'm going a little bit deeper in the stuff now, because it's the content that has been announced, but you can mix and match Swift 3.2 and Swift 4 in the same application, and that's really handy. We had in the past some headaches migrating from Swift 2 to Swift 3, so this can be helpful. There are improved build time if you mix and match Swift and WWDC, and you can do it both ways. It's fully supported. There is a new built-in opt-in, but built-in build system. GitHub is now integrated, and there are new instruments that can save you a little bit of trouble before releasing your application. For example, the main thread API checker will let you put a symbolic breakpoint in your code, so it will stop if an API that is designed to be accessed only from the main thread is accessed from a secondary one. Typically, UI interface can be operated only from the main thread, so that's handy, and you will be surprised by how many third-party and well-respected third-party libraries are going to break because of this. It's a dangerous thing to do, so it's handy, and they will be fixed soon, I hope. Another new improvement is that alongside USB you can now cut the cord and debug your application with Wi-Fi and Ethernet if you are developing for the Apple TV. That's handy if you, I don't know, if you are developing a workout application and you have to run, and maybe it's running with the cord connected to your laptop is not optimal, so there's that. And you can now launch multiple simulators at the same time with different sizes, maybe to perform tests in parallel, maybe to see the same application on different devices. Swift Playground for iPad. Go grab a keyboard, an hardware keyboard. You will be surprised how far an iPad can let you go. You can do amazing stuff. It's not perfect, but it's really fast and enjoyable. You have a more reduced tool set, but mostly every API available in Xcode is available also on the Swift Playground application on an iPad, and it's ideal for teaching and learning new stuff. Highly recommended. Then Swift 4. Swift 4 is open source, and also the evolution process is made in the public. So we already knew basically what was included in Swift 4 and what it will be included when it will be released officially. So have a look at swift.org, and there is also a Swift Playground with every new feature included in Swift 4. If I have to pick one or two, is the multi-line string literals and the codable protocol that eliminates some boilerplate to map JSON and PDIS, basically XML files, to Swift classes and structs. Some new APIs regarding camera images and videos. You probably know that H.265 is a new codec. The official name is High Efficiency Video Coding, and HIF, otherwise, is the High Efficiency Image File format, and it's aimed to replace JPEG with better compression, more features, and is based on the same algorithm of HEVC. I said HCVC, not Siri. On supported devices that support dual camera systems, you also get the depth of field, like the bottom image on the left, so you can make some new effects, extract features, for example, the highlights of the people from different layers, replace the background, and so on. Really handy, and you can go crazy. Metal 2, if you have no idea what it is, it's basically a replacement for OpenGL at a lower level, so it is way faster, but it's available only on Apple platforms. And the goal for Metal 2 is to offload more work from the CPU. And there are new features like metal heaps that let you allocate single memory buffers and then store multiple textures within it. Then there are the Metal Performance Shadows library that are providing an optimized set of image processing, linear algebra, and other computer operations. And besides the performances, the improvements in Metal 2 are designed to enable other frameworks at a higher level stack, like CoreML, ARKit, and Vision, that I'm going to talk about later. For the first time, with Metal 2 on macOS High Sierra, that's the upcoming version of the desktop operating system, Apple is enabling for the first time, again, the creation of VR content on the Mac. And the major players like Steam, Unreal, Unity are all on board. So if you happen to have a Mac and you develop other stuff on that, you can now develop also for VR. And all of them have released private or public betas supporting VR content creation on the Mac. But is your Mac powerful enough? You need at least this year iMac. So you basically have not so many options, but if you have a laptop with Thunderbolt 3, you can connect the external GPU development kit provided by Apple at discounted price if you are on one of these countries. Unfortunately, Italy, for unknown reason, is not there, so we cannot buy that awesome enclosure with fast GPU. NFC, Apple is opening NFC antenna access to selected devices, so you are now able to read NFC tags, but not write to them. I don't know why. And this is, I think that we will know a lot more about this. It's about core location and privacy. The APIs has been overhauled on iOS 11, and every single application accessing the user location while on background will trigger the double blue status bar like this one. It can be definitely annoying, but for the end user it should be clearer what's happening and if an application is using and accessing your position for your privacy sake. Probably it's very annoying for some kind of application and from a developer perspective. HomeKit, for non-commercial purposes, the protocol is now open, so you happen, if you want to create some appliances on your own with Arduino or what else, you can now control them directly in the home application, in Control Center, and with HomeKit APIs. Drag and drop. This is huge. With my first-hand experience, I can say that drag and drop is really a game changer for iPad, mainly. It lets you move information with drag and drop between two applications while in split view and much more. There are four entire sessions centered on drag and drop in the list. So if you are interested in that, they are really worth your time. I don't know if you know this word, but me and Nicola have been Sherlocked, as my first really successful product is a framework called FastPDFKit, shipped since 2011, that let every iOS developer to easily include PDF documents in any iOS application. This was possible only because PDFKit, the framework that Apple just released, wasn't available on iOS before. So go and grab PDFKit, it's great. It was available on macOS for a long time, really long time, so time passes. XCTest is the first-party testing suite for Xcode, application made with Xcode. It can use for interface and functional tests, and there are many welcome improvements, like the ability to run, as I said, multiple tests at the same time on different instances of the simulator, but also navigating the view tree to interact with the views can be between 3 to 10 times faster. There are new APIs on UIKit to manage the navigation bar, the taller navigation bar on iOS 11. Keep in mind that on UI table views, the cell height is now has the height calculated by default automatically. So you have to check your existing code because you can incur in some glitches and malfunctions. And there are also deprecation on layout guides and new safe areas for the views. Keep a look on that. Then we talk about CoreML. CoreML is a new framework that lets you incorporate pre-trained machine learning models inside your application. It works with existing model like made with Turi, Caffe, and Keras. That's a popular library for TensorFlow. And Apple is providing a Python tool to convert those models in a way that's understandable by iOS, macOS, and whatever applications. So you can grab the pre-trained model and use it directly on the application, or you can train your own model, convert it, and include it on the device itself. This is the machine learning stack. Your application is on top. You have some high-level frameworks like Vision, NLP, and Gameplay Kit. I'm going to talk a little bit about Vision later. Or you can go deeper and use CoreML. CoreML, it will then leverage some even deeper frameworks that you have access to, like Accelerate and Bananas, if you want to use the CPU, or Metal, if you want to use the GPU. Machine learning is really powerful. It's a powerful tool that needs to be mastered, but you need to use your brain. You need to connect it. This is an application available on the App Store today, and for just $55 euros, you can identify which mushroom is the one that you can pick on the field, and it will tell you the kind, if it's safe or not. I think that this is deadly dangerous. So keep in mind that not every single model that you can find around or that you can train yourself is well suited for your awesome idea. You have to connect your brain again. Vision, it's meant to, it's a complex word for computer vision. It's like if the computer is able to see like a human sees. It's a high-level framework that has been improved to detect features in still images and even continuously on frame streams. It can now detect rectangles, like a table, for example, faces with better precision, with the outlines that I've highlighted, and track objects moving between frames. Then, and this is the last topic, ARKit is a new framework for augmented reality. What you have to do if you want to provide and to understand the reality that you see with the camera. The first thing to do is to understand where the camera is in the space and where it's looking. Apple is using something they call visual inertial odometry. That's an awesome word, but the gist of it is this. They identify feature points in the world and track them from frame to frame. From that, they are able to back calculate the position of the camera and provide you with a origin and an axis and a coordinate system. If that calculation, however, is made for 60 times per second, it will burn your CPU. So they combine this kind of information with information from the gyroscope and the accelerometer in the device. So they are able to lower the power and the computation needed to perform that particular task, that is to identify where the camera is looking and where it is in the space when you are moving the device. Then they need to understand the scene, and that's just an example, but I think it's awesome. They try to identify floors and, for example, tables, the floor planes. Now they're able to identify only horizontal ones, but then they look for the ones that are coplanar between frames to identify the extent of each one and the borders, the edges. So you can have a full extent of what you have around. At the moment, only horizontal are supported, so a wall cannot be traced as with that same kind of precision. The final thing that they do is to provide you information with where and how much of light is available on the scene. So you can add a virtual object with the correct illumination, so it will fit in the real environment. The precision of ARKit is astounding, and using only a single camera, you can see a virtual ruler put alongside a real one, and it's really, really precise. It's only tracking the feature points on the table. Maybe you already saw this. The quote is from armeasure.com. In the previous slide, I showed another example of a collection of awesome ARKit examples. It's made with ARKit.com. So that's ARKit. I'm done. So go and install iOS 11 on your devices, install Xcode on your Mac, and good luck. This is the same iPad as before.
And we are done, like we are perfect timing, so thank you very much. Okay, so if any of you has any question, now is the time of the question, always the time of the spec. I know it's hard, I'm really like battled inside myself, like spec or questions, but please don't be shy. So,
I'm really sorry. I packed too many things.
alright, so,
Let's have a spec.
okay, whatever. If you don't have any more questions, I remember you all the slides are available on our website. Thank you everyone to be here tonight, and let's have some party and spec and whatever. But as always, since some of you has bachelor degrees, PhD and whatever, I'm sure you can stock chairs. So please help me, because otherwise I have to do it. It's not fun. So please stand up. Oh, stand. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, we can stand. We are humans. This is also. Okay, so please, if you have a chair which is stackable or closable or leverable, please stack it one upon the other. In exchange of this, we will have another big applause to Matteo if you are on free hands. And thank you everyone.